All right, so I'm coming to you today extra bright. Look at this, as you can tell from my amazing shirts. Rock on. It's one of those shirts that you get in like every color. It's so comfortable. Oh, I wish you could feel how soft this is. Okay, so moving right along. I want to welcome you to today's coffee chat. Grab your coffee or tea. Here we go. For anyone who is new here, I am Vennessa McConkey. I am certified functional medicine nutritionist and your autoimmune chronic disease consultant. I was diagnosed in 2007 with a rare adrenal disease called Addison's disease, in which you're only diagnosed after about 90%, crazy, 90% of your adrenals that are damaged. That was in my early 20s, and after about 6-7 years of trying to figure out why I was fainting, being incredibly thin, couldn't gain weight, addicted to sugars, and when I got sick, I was sick for weeks. I worked hard, with trying to figure out what doctor to go to, right? So many different doctors and specialists. Then, you had naturopaths who were like the woo-woo people back then, or hippie doctors, as I've heard them called too. There wasn't really functional medicine. I was diagnosed, and then I was put on 20 to 30 milligrams of prednisone, which is a lot for a 110-pound, 20-year-old girl back then. After being on prednisone for a few years, which, by the way, is only a short-term solution, y'all, and trying all these random supplements, I've had it. I'm tired of just testing, right? And then I kept thinking, why would such a healthy woman have this disease? Crazy, right? But you know what? I've spent so much time over the years doing so many things that have benefited my health. And people keep asking me, they're like, why do you keep doing it? You're healthy. The people think that you're thin, you're healthy. Why would you keep doing these things if you're still healthy right now? Because our body is evolving and we always are learning and growing, right? And I do it because I'm called to take care of my body and to show my family and to be an example. And I love educating and empowering you all to better health. I mean, there's so many other things you could be doing on this earth when you have better health, right? So today, fun topic, intermittent fasting. It's like the words that are going around, right? It's been around for a long time, actually. And there's so many things like breakfast foods that we love, right? I mean, personally, I don't know about you, I love pancakes and omelets and waffles and muffins and bagels and cereal and all the things, right? But these foods, if you think about it, they actually don't have a time requirement as to when they're supposed to be eaten. We've created this culture that cereal and pancakes and bagels and all those things have to be eaten in the morning, okay? Sandwich and salads, heaven forbid you eat them at breakfast, only at lunch. And then chili, meatloaf, whatever, is at dinner. Heaven forbid you have that for breakfast, right? These are all cultural habits, and they're based on convenience, marketing, and social programming. Okay, now hear me out. There was a time before processed foods came along that food was not separated into these teams of times of when we're supposed to be eating them. Okay, for most of human history, if you look back, it's crazy that there wasn't this concept of waking up and having a morning meal. It's actually a very recent, we'll call it, in quotes, invention, the idea of breakfast, where we're making this deliberate effort to get people to change their eating habits, okay? So back in the agricultural time, there wasn't laborers getting up and grinding a 9 to 5, right? They thrived by engaging in shorter strategic work, like hunting and gathering, and then spending a lot of time in leisure. That actually sounds pretty nice. Not what we do these days, is it? Okay? So now granted, okay, here's the thing. Much of that work was spent, and it wasn't brain work. It was more physical work, okay? Then you had physical work, a lot of it where humans were really forced to adapt, and you needed that high energy breakfast, okay? It became the first order of the day. But here's the thing. In the Journal of Applied Physiology, they actually state that this lifestyle that we do right now, that constantly eating throughout the day, actually collides with our genome, okay? Which is most likely something that changed back in the Paleolithic era, which was from 50,000 BC to 10,000 BC, which favored survival in an environment characterized by fluctuations of periods of feast and famine, okay? Even after that era, you got ancient Rome, and they believed that eating their first meal around midday, noon, was best. Then came Middle Ages, we'll say, okay? That's when I think the word breakfast actually hit the scene, because people, they weren't necessarily eating early in the day because it was actually frowned upon to eat before morning mass, which is what they had. But around 10:30, 11 is when they would break that fast and eat their first meal of the day, okay? Now, here's the thing. Listen up, okay? With all of this understood, breakfast may be a new invention, okay? but it doesn't mean that it's like this viable option. Okay, breakfast wasn't really a normal part of life in those days. Neither was bathing. So I'm not saying that breakfast, it's not an advancement, it's not something that we should use to be healthy. But what I am saying is that what we need to do is have a period of time where we're not eating for a large portion of our day, because what that does to our body is it can yield some amazing results, especially those of us with autoimmune conditions. Here's why, okay? So if any of you have been around for the last handful of years, we'll say here, there's many types of really well-documented versions of intermittent fasting that are being used today, and it's great, right? Some involve, you've got eating normal one day and then fasting the next. Some people, they eat normally for 5 days and then they fast for 2 days. Others, they take like a 24-hour fast like 1 or 2 times a week or a month. Then you have not eating for like 12 to 16 hours every day and then shoving food in your face as much as possible during that remaining time throughout your day, right? So there's so many different possibilities that involve intermittent fasting, okay? So here's what you should know about intermittent fasting. Your metabolism is governed by your hormones, okay? And one of the most incredible things about intermittent fasting is that it initiates hormonal changes that make stored body fat more accessible. So employing the intermittent fasting is like flipping on a switch that shifts from the metabolism from fat creation and fat storage to mobilization of body fat, okay? So basically what it means is instead of storing more fats, intermittent fasting actually flips the switch so you can start using it. And getting our hunger and satiety hormones back online is really such a huge key for long-term success for health and fitness, okay? Goodness knows, there's tons of studies out there that show this is improved through intermittent fasting, okay? And here's something you also need to understand. It's not a conventional calorie counting or restriction program or diet, okay? Your metabolism will literally be working more efficiently and be acclimated to burning more fat for fuel when you restrict the time, okay? So you have to think about it this way. It's what your metabolism is doing when you're not doing things like exercising that makes all the difference in the world. Too many people think, and maybe you're one of them, okay, that exercising is gonna enable you to have the body that you want. Guys, in reality, there's only so much exercise you're gonna do, okay, especially with autoimmune diseases. Yes, we do need to move our bodies, okay? But there was a new study that was actually in advances of nutrition that asserts that over 35% of weight loss through just a standard calorie reduction diet, we'll call it, actually what happens is you lose muscle, okay? And 30% plus of weight loss from someone who is overweight or obese is coming from their loss of valuable muscle tissue. That's bogus, y'all. Okay, you can't be doing that to your body. You need muscle, okay? And according to a report from the International Association of the Study of Obesity, intermittent fasting is actually more effective for retaining muscle mass than daily calorie restriction. What? Right? It's published in a journal. Okay, so not only does intermittent fasting improve metabolic function, it also improves this big thing up here in brain health. It stimulates the production of new brain cells. And we all know those new brain cells are hard to come by. And it also makes neurons that you already have work better. I like that. So there's neuron studies that have revealed that intermittent fasting actually increases our level of BDNF, which is really powerful in the healthy development and survival of our brain cells. It's been shown to improve neuroplasticity, enhance cognitive function, and protect brains from a myriad of diseases like autoimmune conditions. As we said before, the brain it's the only organ in our body that's fully encapsulated, okay? Fully encapsulated to protect it. So let's keep doing our job protecting it, right? So a few months ago, I was reading a book by Dr. David Perlmutter. Great guy, by the way. And he said in there that BDNF is actually like miracle grow for your brain cells, okay? It's able to support and improve so many functions in our body, and our diets have such a large impact on its production. Diet, y'all, okay? And what he said is that a diet with high refined sugar and fats, like the nasty fats, can reduce the levels of BDNF in the brain. So basically, sugar is able to strip your brain of that BDNF production, while intermittent fasting is one of the rare things that can actually boost the production in order to help you with the best possible results, okay? Oh, and there's one more thing to do with the brain, okay? Here we go. intermittent fasting actually increases melatonin concentrations, okay, in the gut and the brain. And if all of you don't know, okay, I'm gonna tell you that melatonin is a crucial hormone that influences our circadian clock, which regulates brain function and our metabolism. Whoa. Okay, you ready for some more? I got more, okay? Intermittent fasting also reduces disease risk and slows down our aging process. I don't know about you, but I want to slow that down. And one of the most amazing benefits of intermittent fasting is the impact it has on inflammation. We all know that excessive inflammation is so devastating, okay? It totally is devastating for your metabolism and your brain, okay? And there's some really important things that we really can do to put that fire out, okay? There was another study, published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism that shows that just doing a daily 12-hour intermittent fast was enough to significantly reduce the levels of homocysteine and that C-reactive proteins, that CRP, which are both major markers of heart disease and systemic inflammation. Guys, an inability to effectively remove metabolic waste is another one of the causes of oxidative stress and that systemic inflammation. Guys, so many of us have systemic inflammation. We're on the go. We're eating too much. We're eating too much junk, the wrong foods, and our sleep sucks, okay? Massive research is being done to examine like the effects of intermittent fasting. And they have seen that chronic diseases like cancer and autoimmune conditions have improved significantly. So with a combination of disease prevention, reduced inflammation, and improved aging, I don't know about y'all, I'd say that intermittent fasting is a really good recipe for longevity. Wait, one more thing, is that intermittent fasting has been shown to consistently boost the production of human growth hormone. It increases the blood levels of this growth hormone, which is often referred to as the youth hormone, and it's noted for supporting muscle development, protecting against muscle loss, enhancing cellular repair, and here's what you guys all love, improving overall energy and performance. We all have been asking for more energy. So I'm here to tell you that creating your own strategic blocks of time for when you're eating and when you're not eating is one of the most powerful tools in your tool belt. But I want you to know that window that you create for eating and not eating, okay, it's not required. It's not required to live or die, okay? So if you're hungry by a certain time of day, please eat, okay? If it's during your fasting window, who cares? Eat something, okay? If you've got a family breakfast or a dinner get together, an important, business meeting or something like that conflicts with your eating windows, who cares? Eat something, okay? I'm all about that 80-20 rule, okay? What I personally do is I stop eating around like 7:30 at night, and then I don't eat again until like 8:30 in the morning after my workout. That's where I feel my best, okay? But then at that time, I fuel myself with a superfood smoothie. If you want that recipe, let me know. I have a bunch of them. So play around with some eating windows for you, okay? The goal is not to be eating all the time, okay? You gotta give your body a break. That's snacking, right? And to fuel your body with anti-inflammatory foods, okay? My job as a functional medicine nutritionist, guys, this is so key, is to find out what eating works best for you, okay? And within that eating, what foods you should focus on. There's no one size fits all, okay? We all have our unique biochemistry that determines how well a particular, we'll call it quote diet, I hate diet, you guys all know that, but how that eating and lifestyle works for you, okay? You do have to give your system a break, okay, from that constant influx of food and stress and inflammation, okay? And I love this quote by Morris Chang. Without strategy, execution is aimless. Without execution, strategy is useless. Okay, the point is you need some kind of plan to start with. And if you don't know where to start, guess what? I'm here for you. This is what I do. Okay, so let's set up a free call to see where you're at and what your personal struggles really are. Okay, I am all about educating and empowering and catering your nutrition to fit your lifestyle. Okay, we're here building and fueling your own unique vehicle to enjoy the rest of your life with, okay? Any way possible, in ways that feel fine, in ways that feel good to you, in ways that transform every area of your life. And making your autoimmune conditions just a very small aspect of your life. So you can go on living the life that you were designed to live without that pain, without the brain fog, without the exhaustion all the time, okay? So if you're ready, I want you to go ahead, go to the link in the comments, go to links in my bio, schedule a free call with me, okay? I mean, what do you have to lose, right? And then let me ask you this, what do you have to gain, okay? So until next time, next week we're going to be talking about some specific ways to manage autoimmune conditions through our diets, okay? To drive down that inflammation and heal the underlying dysfunctions contributing to those conditions. All right, see you next.